kind of connection, so I thought let's remove that video and let's restart the whole process of it. Let me quickly confirm if I'm audible.
So you can notice these
loud and clear. Let me quickly just see this, and I am live. Awesome. Great. So let's quickly get started and start learning about the certification which we are focusing on. And obviously the question is, okay, first of all, try to understand what we are going to discuss in this video right now. Our goal here is very simple. You are a fresher right now. Okay, now obviously you have done a lot of things, but obviously when you take your certification, I mean when you take your resume to a potential recruiter, they say, okay, we feel that you're not worth hireable right now, we found a better candidate, something like that. So obviously they have some huge amount of questions, so obviously we don't have the answer to those kind of questions. So what we should do now, obviously we should start working around it. Okay, what is going to happen, how we are going to make it happen. Okay, so one thing is, obviously as a fresher, I have a question is, we should go for certifications, and in this video we are going to go for important certifications for fresher, if I talk about, or I would say important IT certifications for fresher. Now obviously before I move ahead, I want to make one thing very clear. We have a dedicated telegram channel for you guys. If you are in third year right now, we have a dedicated channel for that. If you are in fourth year right now, we have a dedicated channel in that as well. So obviously if you want to join, you should obviously join, because we want to make sure that we are making the community for you guys. Okay, so obviously the link will be available in the description of the video. Let's quickly get started with that. What are IT certifications? IT certifications are technically proof of the knowledge. You have a knowledge of doing something. How will you prove that? Obviously someone should ask me that, Avinash, can you speak English? The answer is yes, but how will I prove it if I cannot meet the person, if I cannot talk to the person, if I cannot see the person? Well, obviously I have to give them some sort of a certification. Okay, like a doctor certification, if I talk about, if I have to prove myself that I'm not on drugs, if I may. Okay, secondly, these certification which I'm talking about, they have a global exposure. So what happens with the global exposure is that these certifications are not kind of a participation certification which are given to you just because you participated in a webinar. No issue with that. Obviously if you want to join, you can join that, but the question is, are they really worth it? Should I actually go for it or should I not go for it? Okay, so these are not participation certification. There is a good possibility when you will go or aim for the certification, you may not close it. So, I mean, you may not clear it and you may not get the certification. So try to understand these certifications are important. They do hold an important place in the industry. So we should be focusing on that. The second advantage, like the advantage you get as a student for these certifications, is quite simple, that you get a discount. With that discount, obviously you can save some money. So this is what I would say certifications are, and let's look into it. Why should you be going for a certification? Now obviously this question is, Avinash, you're already asking me that I should create a GitHub repo, I should upload my projects, I should reach out to people on LinkedIn. Don't you think that is enough? Now you're asking me to go for a certification. Obviously that is an overwhelming question, but the question is, do I want to make a great career, or I just want to make a career? If I want to make a great career, I have to show to the person that I am actually a person who deserves that. I have to show it to that. So this is what we are going to discuss, why these certifications are important. So first of all, it actually helps you increase the knowledge in the domain. So basically I was actually appearing for one Microsoft certification, and when I was appearing for that certification, when I was preparing for that certification, I learned so many things that you won't believe. I did not believe that I could learn and I could see that kind of stuff which was there. So it actually helped me learn a lot of things. Secondly, it helped me expand my skill set. Obviously it will help you expand your skill set also. So you will say that I am Avinash Seth, but I just don't know all these things. I know these things as well. then it will actually help you increase the chance of getting a job. How is that possible? How a piece of paper is going to decide I'll get a job or not? The answer is quite simple. This is not a piece of paper. This is actually proof of knowledge that you know something vital about this particular domain, and we are looking for that person. And finally, it will actually help you stand out from the crowd. What does it mean? I have seen there are colleges which have 1,000 students who are sitting for a placement. What does it mean? It means you're competing with 1,000 people in your in campus. So it is better that you have some pieces of paper which have global recognition, which I will call it ID certification, compared to just calling them as a piece of paper. So these are the importance of these certifications. Now let's focus on what are those certifications you can actually target. So first of all, you can actually target the cloud-based certifications. Cloud-based certifications. So if you want to go for cloud, you can actually go for AWS. You can go for Azure. You can go for Google Cloud Platform. These certifications are from cloud. They're going to they're going to help you actually enhance your knowledge and skill set around it. They are going to help you gain the knowledge and skill set around it. Now, the most beautiful part about cloud certifications is that it is not just limited to cloud. Let's say you want to make your career in AI. There are certifications in those cloud for the field of AI. If you want to make your career in data, big data, if I may, you have certifications in that field as well. You want to make you want to gain certifications in some other field, you can also actually gain like apart from AI and data, you have for the administration part, admin part. Okay, so there are so many certifications available in this cloud field with which you can actually gain so much hands-on experience, or I would say hands-on knowledge. Okay, so this is the first certification which I would be suggesting you guys to actually go for it. Then the second certification obviously I have in my list is related to cyber security. I would say security management, which is also known as certified information security management. It simply means that you can actually handle and make sure that the infrastructure is secured, which is important. Okay, so you can also make sure that you can actually manage and make sure that the infrastructure is secured and is manageable, and it is securely manageable. So this is also an important, so like obviously the important designations are security manager, IT auditor, IT consultant, and managers. So obviously companies are looking for people who have a very neck in the security, because obviously if data is available everywhere through the internet, obviously people want to make sure that their data is safe and secure. After that, you can also go for one certification which I personally like is project management, PMP we call it. Okay, so this certification simply means how will you take a project which is in the ground right now to the sky. Okay, how will you initiate something, how will you plan about it, how will you execute it. This is very important irrespective of which domain you are working. So this certification actually holds a very important door, if I may, in the field of IT, especially if you want to gain some good knowledge around it. After that, obviously, we have Certified Information System Security Professionals, CISSP. This is more about security and risk management. So let's say if something happens to the company, so how will you mitigate the risk of it? How will you keep your assets secure? How will you keep your engineering secure? How will you make sure your network is secure? So this is also an important certification. You cannot simply ignore it. How will it help you? Obviously, it will help you gain some better understanding for your career. Then obviously we have discussed about the cloud certifications. The next certification I have in my list is obviously, let me quickly see. The next certification in my list is Information Technology Infrastructure Library, which is obviously an important certification which has around 4 frameworks if I talk about. So you can learn about the code concept, terminology around it related to all the service life cycle. So obviously guys, these are the few certifications which I would be suggesting you guys should go for. gain some good knowledge, gain some hands-on experience around this, and make it big, because this is what our goal is. So with this, guys, I would say thank you very much. If you have some questions, I am available right now to answer all your queries. So obviously I'm just expecting any questions from you guys, and if you have some suggestions for the next kind of a video we should be going, obviously I'm waiting for that. So if you have questions, shoot the questions right now. Meanwhile, let me actually open the questions which I have built for, like, made from my side. So first of all, the usual question is what IT certifications are best for 2022 if I talk about. So I would suggest the certifications related to cloud are very important, or I would say they are best for a very specific reason. You have immense amount of learning opportunities. Secondly, if I talk about what are the best IT certifications for beginners, so obviously that depends upon the domain you want to go. If you want to go for a security domain, you can go for certifications related to security. If you want to go for AI, you can go for AI. You want to go for big data, you can go for big data. Or you want to go for administration, obviously you can go for there. Which certifications are most in demand? The cloud certification and security certifications are most in demand, because cloud is something where everyone is migrating. Security is something where everybody wants to keep their data secure. And is an IT certification worth getting? The answer is obviously yes. Why? Because it is not just a proof of knowledge, but it can prove that you have the required skill set to work in this domain. So with this, as nobody has any questions right now, I would like to say it was awesome connecting with you guys. I'll see you tomorrow, and let's make it big tomorrow as well. So with this, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.